Hello everybody, it's August the 20th, the day before we're going to experience a solar eclipse. And everyone has been putting a lot of energy into getting to a solar eclipse viewing. And here at the Abbey we have 98% ability to see the eclipse, and some people are driving just a little bit further for totality so they can have a total eclipse. I'm happy with 98%. At any rate, we've just finished up a retreat over the weekend here at the Abbey of about 65 people, Vietnamese people who gathered together to take the 8 Mahayana precepts and to live in community together, eating one meal and then breaking fast with breakfast. So some of you have had that same experience while we were working together in Madison. And I highly recommend one-day retreats, 24-hour retreats, 3-day retreats. It's important to have the ability to take time off, and especially as we look into this 5th chapter, I think you'll find the necessity, or I beg you to find the necessity of a meditation practice. So first I'd like to lead you through a meditation. I also need to tell you that this is the 3rd time I've recorded this teaching. 2 times I tried for a video teaching, and for whatever reason, I'm not able to have the video camera continue to video, and I'm unable to know when it stops because I'm sitting in front of the camera. And so I've practiced this teaching a few times already, which oftentimes leads to a more flat teaching. So at any rate, I'd really like to give you chapter 5, or begin to give you chapter 5. And with that, I will start with a meditation. So please find a comfortable seat. And as you find a comfortable seat, allow the weight of your body to be a felt experience. Feel the weight of your body being held by either your cushion or the chair, connecting you to the room in the moment. Bring your spine upright. Imagine that there is a string pulling your head very gently upward toward the ceiling or the sky, stretching your neck upward, and then letting your neck relax back into its normal position. Let your shoulders drop ever so slightly, relaxing. Feel the warmth of these summer days at the very top of your head, allowing that warmth into the brow. Penetrating into the brow, relaxing the brow. And then the muscles that surround your eyes and mouth, letting your jaw relax, letting your whole face relax. And letting that face relax completely. It's so easy to have a smile appear gently on your face. And then let that relaxed feeling flow evenly into the neck and shoulders, all the way down the torso. And begin paying attention to your breath as I do the ring down. A ring down is a series of bells that start slowly, increase in time, and then we end with 3 longer sounds of the bell. Everybody ready? aware of the in-breath, aware of the out-breath. Aware in, aware out. Breathing in and breathing out. Let the rhythm of your breathing settle till you're breathing naturally, letting your mind quiet and still. And then please bring to mind your intention. Why are you meditating? And for me today, the reason that I am here meditating is to increase my ability to know my true nature, to slowly, slowly uncover the habits that keep me confused and ignorant of its true nature, my mind. So my intention is to understand my mind. And each of you can have your own intention, breathing naturally. Setting your intention directs you. And next I'd like you to bring an image to mind of someone whom you love easily. And as you bring this loved one to mind, allow the warmth that you feel easily flow from you. Breathing in the love you feel, breathing out the love you feel. Using the image of the loved one, breathing in the love you feel toward this person, breathing out, sharing the love. And use your breath to make this circle of loving energy. Taking a few minutes. And as that circle of loving energy flows freely, notice what it feels like to love. And then also notice that because of your love, you're aware of your loved one's difficulties, the challenges that they face. And your love for them is not diminished in any way with this knowing. Just notice. And finally, I'd like you to notice that because of your love and because you're aware of their difficulties and challenges, compassion, a mere wish arises. The wish for your loved one to be relieved of the suffering nature, to experience life as a healing process instead of its suffering nature. Holding that loved one, breathing naturally, just aware of the feelings. And then letting that image fade. And bringing to mind a current image of yourself. And with that current image of yourself, I'd like you to experience the relationship you have of yourself. Is there a loving confidence in who you are? Do you feel that love flowing freely without judgment or expectation or blame? And if there is judging or blame, you're just noticing. You're not going to be dragged away by the story that you're telling yourself. But I want everyone to notice. Today may be a day that you feel deep love toward yourself. Today may be a day that you do not. But either way, embracing whatever it is, and also understanding your own difficulties. What difficulties are you experiencing at this point in your life? Fully aware of the difficulties. And instead of grasping at these difficulties to be other than they are, do you have the room inside to hold the love and the difficulties together as you did when you embraced the loved one? Just noticing. Breathing naturally. And then setting aside all images, all thoughts, and all feelings, just for a moment, putting them to the side, and then letting your mind rest. You're not going to be bothered with thinking or planning or feeling. Just letting yourself rest in the spaciousness of your mind. Breathing naturally, resting. Letting the mind become still, clear, yet aware, relaxed. And if a thought or a feeling arises, because they do naturally, we don't want to push them down. Allow the thought and the feeling to arise. And when it does, try not to go with the story. See if you can just notice, embrace, and let go. Notice, embrace, and let go. And if there are no thoughts, no feelings, just keep resting until a thought or a feeling arises. Breathing naturally, aware, embracing, letting go. Breathing naturally. Resting between thoughts, between feelings. And then once again, feel the weight of your body. And as you feel the weight of your body on the cushion or the chair, let yourself be grounded and connected. Begin opening your eyes, keeping your gaze low, taking in the room or the space around you. And just noticing before you engage fully. How do you feel? What is the state of your mind at this moment? Try to understand your mind. Thank you. So, today we move from chapter 4 that talked about the nature of the mind to chapter 5, which is entitled Bringing the Mind Home. And in chapter 4, I want you to not forget, I want you to remember that we have the promise of enlightenment, that Gautama Buddha, the historical Buddha, when he sat under the Bodhi tree and was awakened, what he taught is that we all have that Buddha nature, that Buddha seed inside of us. And it is our birthright as human beings to have this Buddha nature, and it is possible. We have the capacity, the potential to be awakened. And that's a very important promise to keep in mind. Chapter 5 talks about the freedom that we can have from the obscurations that keep us, the freedom from the jailkeeper, and the jailkeeper being ignorance, falsely seeing the world and believing what it sees, seeing the world as subject-object, seeing the world as self and other, distinctly different, seeing existence and non-existence, seeing birth and death, all these linear dualities. And from the mind that discriminates in these dualities, we have a wrong view, a mistaken view, you could say. And from this mistaken view, our feelings, our cravings, our graspings, and our becoming are distorted. And if you recognize feeling, craving, grasping, and becoming, these 4 words, these are 4 of the 12 dependent related links. And so these links are what keeps the chain of suffering, the cycle of suffering going. So freedom would be being able to discriminate wisely, to being able to see the true nature of our mind, instead of falsely believing that our mind is made up of these dualities. So what we will experience is not just an ultimate view, the nature of our mind being spacious and clear, but what we'll also know is the relative nature, and it's the union of the relative nature, the functionality of the world we live in, and the ultimate, this spacious, clear awareness. We'll realize the union of these. We won't be fooled or deceived by the relative being all there is, and we won't be fooled by the relative being part of what is. We will understand that the union of the ultimate and the relative. So it's like a link between the sky, the spacious nature, and the grounded, transient, mortal nature. I like how Sangye Rinpoche says these adjectives, these phrases. And I also enjoyed how Sangye Rinpoche talked about training the mind. And for me, it sounded more like he was referring to retraining the mind, that we are already masters. We've trained our mind in being able to hold resentment or anger single-pointedly, the object of our angst single-pointedly, the object of our frustration. We can hold that for days, years. Wow, we're masters of confusion. So in Tibetan studies, we talk about training our mind, lojong, not by force, not by cramming the square peg in the round hole or brainwashing ourselves with some sort of fantasy. We learn how to question, we learn how to practice, we learn how to try and examine and to see our habits that lead us toward awakening and our habits that keep us stuck. So we understand our mind, and we use the understanding, the honest surveying of our own mind, this honest ability to assess what our minds are like, and then use this honest awareness to skillfully help our mind become more pliable, more palatable, more flexible, a mind with more room in it instead of a rigid black and white mind. So it's a beautiful way to see your mind, It's like something that will do is understand the way it is, not judge it good or bad, see its habits, use that seeing to readjust and form new habits of mind. So meditation is the tool. It's a life skill tool that you will be able to accomplish just that. To change your mind, to train your mind, working with the mind, knowing your mind. So living at the Abbey gives me so much time for formal meditation. We practice 2 times a day, an hour at a time. And when fall approaches, we'll add the noon time. So in the summer, there's a lot to be done on a working farm. So we work. But in the fall, we'll add 1 hour of meditation in the morning, 1 at noon, and 1 in the evening. So 3 times a day. And in that training, we train as a group. Very, very powerful. And I'm so grateful. I am able to uncover in the mirror of the Abbey's conducive conditions many of my habits, many of the things that have been sort of weighing heavily on my ability to change, and embrace those. See, that's children doing the very best she can, but now I see more. There's more room to see greater possibilities, greater potentialities. So when we say potential, potentiality, the potential exists even before mind. It's because of the potential that we have mind. So if you think about this as a very interesting way to view potential, it's a very interesting way to phrase emptiness. It is the potentiality of mind. So I then am able to see more clearly, to be able to understand. And I understand that I have all I need. I have manifested everything I need right here. I have enough. I'm able to live peacefully, in contentment, as I am, wanting and wishing and moving in the direction of full enlightenment. So please, 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 I beg you, please include meditation in your daily practice. Meditate twice if you can. Do not let the worldly activities that seem so important starve you of your meditation time. Steal from you this precious human opportunity. We can teach our minds to stay still. Right now, it's crazy, isn't it? This is not even a few seconds before we think this or that. So the truth is, if you continue to live like this, you are going to lose this opportunity, wasting your precious human life. So with meditation, you can bring this fragmented, distracted, confused mind back home. Right now, we try to control, not just others, ourselves, everything. We try to control, and we learn that there is nothing to control. Life is not controllable. Or we sort of hide from life, and you can't hide from life. So we learn to allow and accept and to discriminate wisely. To discriminate wisely. What does that mean? What the heck does that mean? So instead of thinking it's this way or that way, we like this or we don't like that, we see that the this or the that, the X or the Y you can choose, they're interrelated. Not only are they interrelated, but we see the impermanence, ever changing, always changing, not being able to remain the same. And then we begin to see the true nature of reality, the 3 seals: impermanence, interrelatedness, and aimlessness or emptiness. Is so, so important to begin to discriminate wisely. And meditation has 3 parts, and always include these 3 parts in your meditation. In the beginning, you set your motivation or your intention. Why are you meditating? What is it that you're seeking? And it doesn't matter. And we try to be as open. May I be able to feel peace. The peace or the stillness in my mind. May I get to know my mind, whatever it may be. And in the middle of meditation, we do our best to free our mind of judgment, of concept in the long run. But at the moment, we just free our mind of judgment or clinging or grasping or the story that it makes. And in the end, we dedicate. So we have intention, and then freeing our mind from judging or clinging or grasping, and then dedication, giving it away. The power of pure potentiality. So we understand that we don't exist without other, that other does not exist without us, and so we dedicate what we have done for others. We include ourselves because we're wise. We discriminate wisely. Motivation, non-clinging or grasping in the middle, and dedicating at the end. And we do our best. At first, non-clinging, non-grasping, non-judging might be difficult, but over time it becomes easier and easier. And then finally, and I want to end here on page 62 for tonight, it talks about the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness is a very, very busy topic, but we've talked about this before. Mindfulness is a mental factor. It's a part of mind. It is not an all-accompanying mental factor. It's not always present. So we have to actually cultivate mindfulness. So when we cultivate mindfulness, we're aware of walking when we walk. We're aware of eating when we eat. We're aware of what we are doing. We place our mind on something and we stay there. We remember to place our mind. We remember where our mind is. So mindfulness is the ability to remember. Mindfulness of walking, mindfulness of eating, such good practice to train your mind. And mindfulness will not lead you to enlightenment, but mindfulness instead is the basis of concentration. With mindfulness, our mind will become able to reach the 9 levels of tranquil abiding. And from tranquil abiding, we have a mind that is serviceable to be able to reach that final goal of enlightenment. So mindfulness, the practice of mindfulness, is the basis of our concentration. So I want to end there. I'd like you all to bring your hands together at the level of your heart. And I'd like to dedicate with gratitude for the Buddha, for the awakened ones, for the Dharma, and for us, the Sangha. We dedicate for the Buddha, for the Dharma, and the Sangha with deep, deep, heartfelt gratitude. Thank you so much.